Yes, what's happening, people? And welcome back to Gavgoesin. Guys, how are you all doing? How are you all doing? Uh, Let me see. I can't see my. Oh, there we go. Guys, everyone enjoying this weather today? Um, just come back just now. Do you know what? I can't complain, man. This weather's nice, and obviously I'm off tomorrow on holiday. Gonna enjoy some better sun, I would say, and nice little break for a week. Guys, big up yourselves for coming on. Big up to Reluctant Gamer. Big up, bro. Guys, bear me just 1 minute. Bear me 1 minute. Big up to Latimus Prime. Big up, bro. Big up to Barbara Joseph as well. Guys, bear me 1 minute. Just got a little bit of a problem come up. Just bear me 1 minute. Let's see what's happened there. Guys, make sure your questions are still coming through, though. Make sure they're still coming through. Big up to Sham. Big up, bro. Right, yes, guys. I'm just waiting on Jonas to come through. I don't know if he's been held up or not. So, obviously, I've managed to message him, but our signs probably come up. So we thought we'll get it started anyway. Apologize, guys, for being apologies for being a little bit late. I did originally stream it for 6 o'clock. I think that's him phoning me now. Bear me 1 minute. 1 minute, guys. Yo. What's that? Yeah, no worries, man. No worries. I'll add you now, yeah? Cool, man. All right. Yeah, guys, that's Jonas. He's going to come through now. So, yeah, we're going to get into... I want to ask Jonas what he thinks of this transfer window. I want to ask him what he thinks as well about who's the favourite for the league, for the Champions League. It's always good to get a difference of opinion. So, yeah, I want to ask him what he thinks, Guys, make sure your comments are coming through and make sure you subscribe to my channel at Gavgoesin. And again, guys, make sure you smash that like button. Help give the channel some support. I think I'm 17 away, guys, from hitting 1100. So, as I said, if you haven't smashed that like button, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do. And as I said, yeah, make sure you give us your questions. Guys, any news today? I haven't seen any news on any football. I think I've seen something about the Club World Cup. Some of the players have been added into the squad. So, yeah, let me know, guys, if there's been any news breaking. I heard some news earlier today, actually, about Victor Gyökeres, falling out with Sporting Lisbon. And the problem with that is that you're going to have to think now that any deal that any club wants to make for him is going to be a little bit more difficult. So, yeah, man. But, guys, yeah, make sure your questions are coming through. And make sure you subscribe to my channel and make sure you smash that like button. Guys, can everyone hear me all right? Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me all right. Guys, what do we think of this Club World Cup then? Who are we going for the favourites? Who reckons the favourites for this Club World Cup? I'm gonna say, you know what? Man City's 3 signings that they've done, for me, I'm making them favourites. Definitely. I think them and you have to say PSG. And I think yeah, possibly Real Madrid as well. I think you also have to put Real Madrid in there. But again, Real Madrid, new manager, how are they going to adapt to Xabi Alonso's demands? Sham reckons Man City. Yeah, listen. I'm telling you this now. I'm saying it. Man City for me are the favourites, no doubt. Man City favourites, no doubt. Big up though. Big up, Jonas. What you saying, bro?
Yo, I'm good. I'm good. What are you saying? You
Can
good?
you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
One minute. 1 minute. I can't hear you. One minute. I think I know why. Yeah. Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. All good, man. All good.
Yeah.
What's happened, man? That Liverpool shirt was too tight to put on. What?
Nah.
You good though, yeah?
Nah. Yeah, I'm good. You good?
Yeah, I'm all good, man. All good. Just today's been a bit mad, you know. As I say, I had two streams today. I had obviously this one and the one before that. I had it scheduled for certain times, man. But I've just been running around because I'm going away tomorrow. So you know, like little bits and pieces that need to
Yeah,
be done.
just getting it together and that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So yeah. But as I said, man, just as long as we can get these streams done, that's the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah. You've been enjoying this weather today.
Say again.
You've been enjoying this weather today.
Little bits here and there. I managed to slip out of work a little bit earlier, so it's all good. It's all good. Trying to enjoy it, you know. What about yourself?
Yeah. Listen, I just literally just been. I've just been trying to get bits and pieces done together. You know, obviously I'm a PT as well, so I had a client this morning. I had to run to the high street and get some stuff sorted out. But yeah, no, it's just been mad. Just been shooting around all over the place. But yeah, I'm looking forward, man. Nice little break away for a week, and I'm going to be streaming as well when I'm
Oh,
away.
nice.
So yeah,
Wait,
but
anywhere good?
I'm going to Antalya, man,
Oh,
in
freaking hell.
Turkey. Yeah, going
That's
Turkey,
nice.
man. Yeah, so
Should be
I
nice
got a
and
late. Say again. Say again.
should be nice and hot.
Yeah, well, the weather, man. I think from what I saw yesterday, I think the lowest it gets is 28.
Freaking hell.
So yeah, that's way that's way too hot for me, man. But I'll be in that shade for sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So but yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it, man. Got a late flight tomorrow, so yeah, I can just relax in the morning and just enjoy it, man. You know?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
definitely. Definitely.
Guys, make sure you smash that like button, guys. Subscribe and give a shout out to Jonas as well. What we're gonna do, we're gonna get through. We're gonna get on to because I know obviously the stream cut out last time, so you know that was quite frustrating, man, because we was covering quite a bit there.
Yeah.
But yeah, what we're gonna do, we're gonna talk about the transfer window. I want to get your views on that. I want to get your views also on who you think is going to be the favourites for the Champions League for the league title this season.
Yeah.
And obviously Liverpool. I want to know what you think of. Obviously, Florian Wirtz looks to be over the line now,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Deal.
man, take it away, man. I want to see what you think about Liverpool's chances this season.
Well, so it's just an improvement, really. It's just an
Yeah,
improvement on this season just gone.
mm,
To say that they have now, like you said, they haven't really splashed any cash,
yeah,
but this season, they like to say a big statement to say that they wanted, like they almost did the same with Caicedo.
yeah,
Was happy to splash the cash, and again they're happy to prove it and go, actually, we've got money, this is what we want and this is what we're going for. So they've managed to somehow make it happen and get it over the line. But yeah, they're just going from strength to strength again. It looks like Kirkes could be on the way.
yeah.
Stuff was heating up today about Isaac as well, going to, do you know what I mean? But people are just, Liverpool got the money. It looks like they're willing to spend the money. It could be looking like Nunes and Diaz are like on their way out. So
Yeah, because I'm seeing that obviously Barca are determined to get Luis Diaz over the line, you know. But I think he's come out, or the club have come out and said, you know, that he doesn't want to go, and
yeah.
they're kind of shutting it down, really. But I mean, what do you think? Do you reckon he's gonna end up going, or you reckon he's gonna stay?
It depends. It depends on what his thought process at the moment must be. I don't know what's gonna happen if they bring in. The problem is now is if Liverpool bring in another striker,
Yeah,
it's a case of where do I fit in? Do I then go further down the pecking order,
Mm.
or what happened. Because you still got to think like Diego Jota won't start every game. He's not fit enough to. And then it's a case of you go and buy another striker. Obviously, it depends on how much you pay for him. He's not going to be one to sit on the bench, is he?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's a case of now. It's a case of, are we buying for a starter? Or are we buying? Do you know what I mean? It's like now with Florian, but like you can't spend all that money for someone then just to be sat on the bench. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. So it'll be interesting.
So the thing is, in your obviously with Vert signed, I mean, what's your lineup? Would you say what's Liverpool's strongest lineup?
Oh, it's so with him signed. Obviously, the back four is going to be Alisson in goal.
Yeah,
you're looking at Van Dijk and Konate. Kirkes is not over the line, but if Kirkes was over the line, he'd probably start over Robertson at this point.
Yeah.
But again, it depends on how they play. So it depends on if he's going with 3 at the back and having wing backs.
Yeah.
Or if he's going to go with a straight 4 at the back and then think about it and sort of go. Because the problem is you can probably go with 4 at the back and then probably have Gravenberch drop into a back 3 with the two centre backs.
Yeah.
And then, so I'd probably go with that. So I'd probably have, if Kirkes is coming, you'd have Kirkes, you'd have Van Dijk, you'd have Konate, and then you'd have Frimpong. And then in the middle, Gravenberch has got to start all day long. So Bosley will probably be on the bench. It'll probably be McAllister. And then I don't know if he's playing Verts through the middle or if he's playing him on the wing.
What in the 3 at the back system?
Yeah. Because to me, if you're gonna do that, you'd probably put him through the middle, and then you'd probably have. Yeah, I don't know. It's difficult because it's a question of who you're pushing. So it depends on what striker you've got. Because if you've got Nunes, he's literally just going to sit on the last man. I know he can do a little bits of hold-up play, but he'll probably sit on the last man. And then you'd probably have Diaz and Salah or Gakpo and Salah. Do you know what I mean? So it's more or less who's in that middle. So who's playing the striker. Yeah.
No, listen. I think we kind of touched on it last time. But what I would say, before we get into that, DXR, big up, bro, for coming on. But yeah, what I would say is, me personally, as I said to you, I think Liverpool are primed to play 3 at the back because I look at the players they've got, the signings they've made. The 2 signings in particular in Florian Wirtz and Jeremy Frimpong, they're both used to playing in a 3 at the back system. Kirkes for me in a 3 at the back as the wing back is ideal for that system. Yeah. The only thing we would say, as you mentioned, Ryan Gravenberch can drop back in to become one of the 3. Yeah. And I think, although Gravenberch can do that, I don't expect him to do that, And this is why I'm thinking, are they going to go in for another defender? Because the only defenders they've got there centrally are obviously Van Dijk, Konate, and then you've got Quansah, who's been linked with by Leverkusen today.
Yeah.
And then you've got Joe Gomez, who's out injured,
Yeah.
So obviously there's been no links to them getting another defender. But I'm just looking at Jeremy Frimpong, as I mentioned to you the other day on Monday. Frimpong, as we know, is more adept to be an attacker. So if you want to get his attacking instincts in that team, he's better suited to playing as the right wing back. Yeah. And actually, in fact, someone's just mentioned something which I want to get onto in a minute. And do you know what? I didn't see this happening, but that would be a great move, and I can see that move happening. But we'll get into that in a minute. So I think you know, you got Frimpong as the right wing back, and then you got Gravenberch, McAllister, and then as I said, Florian Wirtz will play from the left, but as a free role. I don't think he plays as the false nine, because I think you will have an actual number 9 that they're trying to bring in as well. Yeah. And I think personally, you know, Wirtz will be playing from the left, and then you've got Salah obviously playing from the right. And then that striker, whoever it may be, you know, I'm just thinking it might be. Sorry, man, 1 minute.
No,
sorry, what's happening? Sorry. Yeah, sorry, man. What's wrong with this? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so I think with Florian Wirtz, I can't see him playing anywhere else but that left side of the three. You know, I know it's probably going to be a bit more obvious. People might look at it and think, you know, he can play as the false 9, but I think that's taken away from his game. You know, but again, you've got Salah on the right of that 3. You know, who's obviously his legs are gone, but he's still got the experience and still gets the numbers. Yeah. Cody will obviously play from the left, you know, and again, he can use his pace. Diaz, we're not sure what's going to happen to him. But I think the main thing is if you get a striker in, I can see the back 3 even more. You know, and as I said, someone's mentioned someone else's name, which again we'll get onto. But Shams asked you a question. So Shams saying, being a Liverpool fan like me, you must be excited with the Wirtz signing. What do you think of us paying what Leverkusen wanted?
I'm excited. And to be honest, in this day and age, sometimes you just got to pay what the asking price is. I know it's not ideal when people go, oh yeah, but you spent all this money. Yeah. But again, it's not like you're paying like for instance, Chelsea paid, how much did Chelsea pay for Enzo Fernandez?
So I think Enzo was 100 mil, I believe, and Caicedo was the British transfer record at 115.
So again, Caicedo moved from Brighton to Chelsea at 115. Liverpool didn't pay that money, and he's young and he's proven in that league. Again, Wirtz is one of those players where he's a generational talent and you pay him for what he's worth. Yeah. So whether he goes, like, he could be a future Ballon d'Or winner, he could be, do you know what I mean? He's that stem of player. Sometimes in this day and age, you've got to pay what someone's worth. And to me, I know it's horrible when you go, oh yeah, but you're spending all this money, and people like, do you know what I mean? But like, you'll know the same. Like Pogba was in that same bracket. Yeah. And people were going, oh yeah, but you overspent on Pogba. And I'm like, no, because if you look at what he was doing at that time in a team that had a player in Pirlo, and even Pirlo was going, Pogba is fucking brilliant at what he does. You know what I mean? But again, you pay for what it's worth. Yeah. So it's, to me, we're paying what he's worth. And if you get 2 or 3 good seasons out of him and then sell him on for more or less you won't get the same amount, but you're getting great years out of him and he's still young. So to me, you pay what someone's worth. You're paying what you think that player's worth. And if you win a Champions League, if you win an FA Cup, do you know what I mean? If you win cups within that time, again, he pays for himself.
Yeah. Listen. I think like it's one of them things where people are gonna have their opinion. People are gonna say it's a waste of money or it's too much money. But what I would say, and I mentioned this earlier on my stream earlier today. So what you have to look at like this. Bayer Leverkusen were always going to say to Liverpool, you know, you're going to have to give us money that is going to break the British transfer record. Because if you look at Bayer Leverkusen, they've lost their manager, Xabi Alonso, who's gone Real Madrid. They've lost their captain, Jonathan Tah, who's gone to their rivals, Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
They've lost their first choice right wing back, Jeremy Frimpong, obviously gone to Liverpool. And now they're going to lose their best player, Florian Wirtz.
Yeah.
And you look at it like this, you know, Florian Wirtz along with Jamal Musiala, they're the crown jewels of German football.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing is with Florian Wirtz as well, Wirtz is 22, you know, and now he's untransferable because by Leverkusen, as I said, we're always going to ask for that sort of money. So I think the eventual price is going to, it's going to reach 150 mil with add-ons included.
Yeah.
Now the thing is, you know, with that kind of outlay for someone like Florian Wirtz, providing he stays clear of injury, providing he won't have a loss of form, which I don't think he will because he's a top player, you're going to have him for the next 10 years. So take him up to is that 32.
Yeah.
So if you look at that, the outlay in comparison to that over a 10-year span, you've got your money's worth. You know what I mean? Because I reckon a lot of the add-ons as well will be things like you said. I think it might be Ballon d'Or clause. You know, if Liverpool win the Champions League, Leverkusen might get a fee, and the same with the league title as well.
Yeah.
So I think all those things will be included. You know, and for me, it's, you know, it might look like a lot of money, but when you actually think about it, it's not, because you're getting one of the best players in the world, arguably the best number 10 in the game right now. You know, so for me, it's not. It's a no-brainer. You know, and he was always going to cost that kind of money. And you know, I'm not going to lie, man. I love Man United, so I'm not going to start saying that was a lot of money. You know what I mean? So
but the thing is again, even if we didn't buy him and we went and got Turkey, would still be looking at Liverpool in the same light and sort of still going, but you could have had Wirtz for 150, but you couldn't have got Turkey except for like 40 mil. Do you know what I mean? And it's to me, we don't do it often.
Yeah.
So to break the bank and to go, actually, this is a player that we want. This is a player that the manager says that he's top of the game and this is where we want to be. You got to spend that cash. I'm sure Real Madrid don't think about that when they're freaking, you know what I mean? Like, break the bank for Ronaldo. They don't go, well, we got to think about it. Like, no, he's the best in the world right now. We need to go and get him. Whatever it takes, we need to get someone like that on our team. So it's all good and well, but again, it's a case of you want to be in and around the best. You have to go and get the best, and you have to take the top of their game. So,
yeah, listen, I agree, man. I think as well, I think what you can give credit to what's his face, to Arne Slot, is that he come in, no money to spend, won the league, you know, and really and truly, like he's deserved getting a couple of players in for sure.
Yeah.
And for me, I just think that, as I said, the Florian Wirtz for me wasn't like, I didn't see this signing coming, because I was saying before, you know, he's ideal for Man City to replace De Bruyne in that number 10. Yeah. And the fact that Liverpool, you know, have literally got this deal over the line, again, I didn't see it happening. And you know, he's gonna take Liverpool up another level, because in that number 10 position right now, you've got Szoboszlai, and Szoboszlai ain't on Wirtz's level. You know, Wirtz is a goal threat. You know, he's technical. You know, he's a good dribbler. You know, he's creative, good at passing as well. So he's gonna add a lot to that Liverpool team. I just think, to finish it off, I think they would need to go and get a striker, because, as I mentioned to you the other day, I don't rate Darwin Núñez. I think he's shit. He's terrible, man. He's absolutely terrible. But and Jota, as I said, is injury prone and is a bit hit and miss, you know. And I think if you can get money for Núñez, and then you go and get a striker, whether it's Ekatike, Gyökeres, Osimhen, whoever, then I'll go as far as saying, you know, that league title will definitely be between Man City and Liverpool. Yeah. But I think at this moment in time, I think City are ahead with them, with the signings that they've made.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. But yeah, big up to Monkey King anyway. And you know what? It was actually funny. So remember I said to you on Monday about Castello Luqueba from Red Bull Leipzig.
Yeah.
So this is why I said Liverpool. I've got a feeling they're going to play three at the back, because a lot of their players I'm looking at now would be suited to that. And Monkey King has said Liverpool have been linked with Hato of Ajax. Yeah. Do you know anything about Yoro Hato?
Little bits here and there. I've seen little bits of him, and
Yeah.
he's got something to him. I don't know what it is, but he's got something to him.
Well, again, he's only 19 years of age. He's Ajax's youngest ever captain in Europe. So he captained them when he was 17, I believe.
Okay.
I think he might have been 17 when he captained them. I think he made his debut around 16 or 7. I think he was 16 years of age or 17 when he made his debut for them. And he captained them in Europe at 17. And the fact that obviously he's been linked to Ajax, to Liverpool, sorry, is mad because he was actually linked to Arsenal. And I think Arsenal got quoted 100 mil at the time. Now, the thing why this is key for me is because Lukeba, if they are looking at him as well, is telling me that they're going to play three at the back. And the thing with Yoro Hato is Hato can play centre back and left back. And of course, he's Dutch as well. Yeah. So he's got the likes of Van Dijk, Gravenberch, Frimpong, Gakpo. You know, he's got 4 players there already that are his compatriots. And, you know, you could see him making that move. I think the only thing might be the stumbling block is probably the price. But if they can get Hato, you know, then this three at the back looks even more because you can even, you know, if you want to play 4 at the back and you want to rest Kirkes when you do get him, Hato can play left back. You know what I mean? So it's mad how he's come out of that because, you know, I was actually thinking of Hato and if they get him over the line, which is a possibility, you know, I think for sure they'll be looking at that three at the back for me. You know?
Yeah.
So
it'll be good. But, like you say, it's a great option to have to be able to. And the thing is the options are, like you say, you can either go 3 at the back or you can go 4 at the back. And to have that option
is great,
Yeah, is a lot more than what we've had in the past where Klopp's football has been, we're playing back 4, we're going to keep it high tempo. And you know what I mean? If a game's not working, then you could go, actually, let's bring Hato on, let's go to a back 3. Let's put 2 wing backs. Do you know what I mean? So, but again, my other thought, which could be a good thought, is do you reckon Salah could do a number 9 job?
You know what? Yeah, I've heard people say this. Yeah, and for me, I think if you're playing the lesser teams and you're at home, then again you can just put him through the middle. You know, if you want to get a goal, but I think Salah's attributes are not suited to playing a number 9 because he can't play with his back to goal. I know obviously there's times where, you know, the ball does get played into him and he can hold a man off. But when you're playing as a striker in comparison to playing out wide, it's a different kind of game out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you're playing out wide, you're always facing the game. Whereas if he's going to play as a 9 and play on the shoulder, then it could work. But for me, I just think they need to go and get a number 9 and use. And this is why I'm saying the 3 at the back is going to help Salah massively because Salah hasn't got like the pace he once had to go and take his man on. So the best way to utilize Salah is to play 3 at the back and have Jeremy Frimpong's pace as the overlap, and then you have Salah closer to goal. Yeah, and then Salah will get more goals.
Yeah.
So this is why I think the 3 at the back will help him out, and the fact that you're bringing in players like Frimpong, you know, like Wirtz, as I said, screams to me 3 at the back. But I think to start with, at the moment, I think from what we're seeing, it probably will be 4 at the back. But if they go and get a Hato, then I do think that might change. But for me, Salah could do a job, but I don't think I don't think against the better teams that will be.
He's not the overall guy to go out and do that job full time. But if you need, and it's a case of he can fill in and he can do a job here and there, then fair enough. But like you say, because he's so used to hugging that touchline. Yeah. And the moment someone gets close to him, he can just ping it round, like just play a little 1-2 and get round them. But again, is he grown as a player to a point now where he can change his game and sort of go, actually, let me go in the middle and turn provider rather than scorer for it. Do you know what I mean?
I hear what you're saying. This is why I'm saying the 3 at the back works for him. Yeah. Because if you're playing the 4 at the back, he's still going to be out wide.
Yeah.
Whereas, and this is why I'm saying Frimpong's a key signing for Salah, because Frimpong offers the pace that Salah hasn't really got no more.
Yeah.
You know, he's still got the change of pace, but the actual pace, out and out pace that he used to have, as we know, is getting older. He hasn't really got as much. So if you want to get more goals for him, I think playing him closer to the goal, playing infield, I think that will get him more goals. You know, so whether Slot's looking at that, and I think he might be, we'll have to wait and see, man. But I think it's gonna be interesting to see how he sets them up, because I'm assuming that Florian Wirtz right now is going in as a 10, where Szoboszlai is playing. But as I said, he could easily go to the left of if they play three at the back and have a free roll from there. Because again, when you're playing three at the back, you know, you're not, if you're playing as one of the guys up top, you're not playing as a winger. You're a number 10.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's where I think it could change. But just on DXR's comment here. So DXR said, can someone tell me what is three at the back formation really good for? Does it just become more attacking? So with the three at the back, it allows you to play, as I just said, you know, with your wide players playing infield. So if you're a number 10, you know, you're playing infield and your width comes from the wing backs, which is why I'm mentioning Frimpong, Kerkez. These guys are fullbacks that get up and down the pitch.
Yeah.
So if you look at Man United, for instance, Man United play three at the back, but the manager plays defenders at fullback, which naturally you're going to play defensive, because their game naturally is to drop back.
Yeah.
So if you've got actual wingers in the wing back positions, naturally they're going to be attacking. And Frimpong's a prime example. You know, he's someone that came through as a right back, but he's been playing as a wing back because remember, he played right back for Celtic.
Yeah.
And then when he went to Bayer Leverkusen, obviously the three at the back, he was a winger. And you can see he can't play right back because he's too attacking. So him in the three at the back works perfectly. And as I said, the way Kerkez plays, if he does come in, he's suited to playing the three at the back as well. So it can become attacking. It depends what players you play in them positions. If it's wingers playing as the wing back, you're going to be attacking. If it's fullbacks playing as the wing backs, naturally you'll be defensive. You know, and again, if you've got a lot of central defenders, you can afford to put another defender in the team playing three at the back. So that's where it kind of is effective in a sense, you know. So, but yeah, what I want to ask you, man. I mean, in a transfer window in general, I mean, how do you think it's been? Obviously, it's shut now for 6 days.
Yeah.
Because of the Club World Cup. But who do you think's on course to doing well with the signings so far?
Well, the good thing is there's some great signs. Like Chelsea are making some moves, and again, people go, "Oh yeah, but Chelsea are spending copious amounts of money." But again, they're getting rid of what's not right, and they're trying to put it right now. Yeah. So again, it's a case of they're all young. They're all sort of still trying to figure it out. They're all sort of still trying to get to grips with each other. And I think they could more well be like a dark horse in the next. Do you know what I mean? In the next, like they could be a dark horse. But then I look at. I'm trying to think who else could be. I mean, if Arsenal get the deals that they're talking about over the line,
which is who?
Well, because
I'll be honest with you, I don't want to hear you say one name. I don't want. There's one name that I think you're gonna say, and let's rule that out, man. Please, go on.
If they buy the striker that they're looking at from RB Leipzig,
Sesko.
Yeah, that's not a bad buy. I don't think that's a bad buy. I think it's a different option. However, I still think you're missing something. I don't know what it is with Arsenal. They're missing something else. Because they've got a good team and they can push, but I don't know what it is with Arsenal. I don't know if they get to a point and they go, yeah, we're not in it anymore. Let's just give up. But they've got a good enough squad to go on and do things. it could just be that it's Arteta. It could be literally that it's Arteta is not the man to get you to the next level. Certain people, you meet, you get to a certain level and you think,
yeah,
I'm good at this level. I think Arteta's gotten him to a level where it's like, okay, we're sort of happy, we're in and about now. What do we do next? I don't think he's the man to take him to the next level. I don't know who is, but I don't think it's him. I don't know what he's done, but I don't think it's him. I think he gets to a point and then it's sort of like, he sort of like can't figure out what's next.
Yeah.
He can't figure out what to do next. And I think even in terms of like when you look at Declan Rice, when you look at Partey, and you look at like for me, we had a great conversation. Me and the boys were having a good conversation about Odegaard. And Odegaard for me is not captain material.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like you had it in Xhaka, and then you let Xhaka go. But to me, Xhaka was the man that would give you. I don't need a pretty footballer. Like Henderson, I don't need a pretty footballer. I just need someone that when the going gets tough, he's going to pull me close and go, listen, you need to fix up and we need to change this game. That's what a captain does. And I don't think like Odegaard seems to go hiding in certain games. And to me, he's not the man you want as captain. Me, personally, I'd make Gabriel my captain.
Yeah, listen, I totally agree. Gabriel should be their captain, yeah. But the thing is as well with captaincy, yeah, like a captain doesn't have to be the most vocal, you know. No. I think because what it is, I think if you look at Odegaard, for instance, you know, he isn't the most vocal, but he's probably in terms of like, you know, he's probably like a calming influence there, you know. But the problem is with him is that, as you said, when the going gets tough, he very much hides a lot of the time in the game. Yeah. And again, you get loads of different captains. You get the ones that you know talk and shout a lot. You get ones that lead by example, or you get ones that are your best player, and you want everything to be revolved around them. Yeah, yeah. And I think with Odegaard, he's neither, because he's not vocal. No, he's not playing. He's not consistent in terms of his performances. And could we arguably say he's their best player? He's not. He's definitely isn't their number one. You know what I mean? Yeah. So this is where the issue comes from, like with him being captain. And again, I totally agree that Gabriel should be their captain, because I look at Gabriel and he's someone that you can tell that the team listen to. You know? Yeah. He's become obviously their main centre back along with Saliba, and yeah, he's someone that I'm surprised. I think he might be the vice captain, I think, along with Bukayo Saka, I think. But he should definitely be the captain going forwards, you know, because Odegaard isn't someone that's going to inspire you to get over the line. Yeah, yeah. And but again, it's like as much as I hate to say it, Bruno Fernandes gets on my nerves. But again, when he's ready to fight for you, the man will fight for you. No matter what's going on that field, that man will fight for you. Do you know what I mean? Well, you know what? Yeah, obviously I'm a United fan, innit? Yeah, and I've got my opinions on Bruno Fernandes. I've also got my opinions on Jude Bellingham as well, which is because the thing is, I look at a lot of these things, yeah, and with the likes of Jude Bellingham and Bruno Fernandes, when you're saying these guys are captains, yeah, or Bruno's a captain, to me, it's not. What Bruno does very well is that he plays on the heartstrings of these fans, because a lot of these fans, they can relate to Bruno. Why? Because the way Bruno's a passion merchant. Yeah. And you know, like with a lot of these fans, what they like is players that, you know, run at 100 miles an hour, get around the pitch, G up the crowd, all that kind of fake bravado nonsense. Yeah. You see me, I don't rate that stuff, because I just want to see the best footballers, good footballers play. But someone like Bruno and Jude Bellingham does this very much as well. Yeah, they're the kind of guys that if they miss a shot, they'll start looking at the crowd and start, you know, fist pumping the crowd, or start punching the floor, kicking the post, as if them guys should have done better at what they're doing. Yeah. And then what that does, that plays into the fans that don't really know what they're watching or what they're looking for, and the fans will start saying, "Oh, that's my captain. He's playing for the badge. you know, all these fake passion nonsense that I call it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't think Bruno's a good captain, because a good captain for me is someone that inspires your teammates. For instance, if you watch what Bruno Fernandes does a lot of the time, if he messes up a pass, he blames the teammates. Yeah.
Yeah.
If he loses the ball, he'll start, you know, doing his hand signal movements to try and say to his teammates, why weren't you there? Like, he absolves himself of blame, and it's always someone else's fault.
Yeah.
So this is why he ain't a captain for me. The only thing he does really is, and this is what people are fascinated with, is numbers. But as I keep saying, his numbers are at the expense of the team. You know, I'd rather have an all-round midfielder that isn't getting numbers, but is contributing effectively to the actual team.
Yeah.
And this is what Bruno doesn't do. And the fact that you've got him mowing at his teammates consistently, you know, many people probably won't look at that. They'll probably think that he's a winner, but he's not really. He's just someone that just absolves himself of any blame and just passes the buck. You know what I mean? So that's my thing on that. But just going back to what you said about Arteta. Now, the fact that he wants Benjamin Sesko, you know, you obviously said that you rate Sesko. This is why Arsenal are going to fail, yeah, because Arsenal finished second 3 times in a row, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the only way for Arsenal to improve on what they're doing, because let's face it, since Arteta's come to the club, he's come there and he's won 1 trophy with someone else's team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's been there, and this will be his 5th or 6th season.
It's 6.
He's 6. What? Right. Yeah. So his 6th season, yeah, and he's still at the club. And I blame the majority of the fan base, because just like Man United, the standards have dropped so much. Yeah. So the fact that they're going in for Sesko is laughable, because they need a striker that's going to get them over the line. Because there's no point Arsenal finishing 2nd or 3rd again. They have to win the title, because they're the most in terms of having their team set. Out of all the top clubs, they've got their team set, because you got Man City in transition, Liverpool are trying to build a new team now, Chelsea, they're trying to build a new team, and then and them 3 first and foremost, and then you got the Chelseas and Newcastle. So Arsenal, for me, should be the team this season that should go for the title, but they should have gone for the title the last couple of seasons. Yeah. So my thing is, bringing in Benjamin Sesko isn't going to get them over the line, because all Benjamin Sesko is going to do is just, you know, I mean, is he an upgrade on Kai Havertz and Gabriel Jesus?
Who knows?
Right, and that's my point. They need someone. They need someone that's going to come in there and be the difference maker. But the problem that Arsenal have is that Kai Havertz is on 280. Gabriel Jesus is on 265. Yeah? Now, if you go and get a striker that is, let's say, an Osimhen, a Gyökeres, someone that we know or we think is going to take them to the title, you're going to have to pay them more than what Havertz and Jesus are getting.
Yeah.
So this is why they're bringing in Sesko, because Sesko is not going to come in on more money than both of them. But then what happens? He won't get you over the line. You see what I mean?
You don't know what you're getting. You don't know what you're buying, basically.
Yeah.
Because now it's not like he's like you say. Even if they were to sell one of those 2 strikers and go, let me go and get Julian Alvarez, he's proven the league. He'll put us in a position where we can potentially win this league now. But again, like you say, I don't know what their thought process is behind. Like you say, it could be a money thing where he's turning around and going, actually, let me not worry about that. Let me just go and get a striker that I think can potentially be better than both of them. But we're still saving money. Yeah. So it's a case of I don't know what Arsenal's thought process is behind getting another striker. Like unless it's just we need another striker in case my man gets injured, we now need to think of someone else we can put in.
Yeah. But the thing is, they definitely need a striker, but I just don't think because for me they need a top class left winger and a striker, and I think if they was to get 2 of those to go with what they've got already, I would go along and say, you know, I expect them to win the title. But they're not going to win a title under this manager because this man just failed, whether people like it or not.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's buying Sesko, he's only getting Sesko in because he can't really. He has to justify why he's got Kai Havertz. Now the thing with Kai Havertz, Kai Havertz really, if you want to keep him in the team because of the wage that he's on, Kai Havertz is actually a number 10. But then you can't play him there because your captain's playing there, Martin Odegaard.
Yeah.
So this is why they're getting Sesko, because Sesko won't mind going on the bench. You know, he might fill in on the left as well. Whereas if you go and get a proven striker, you have to play that striker, which means you've got a 280 grand player on the bench in Kai Havertz.
Yeah.
So this is where the issues come. And, you know, this is why, for me, they won't get over the line because Benjamin Sesko is not leading them to any title. And my prediction for Arsenal this season, based on what everyone else is doing, I think Arsenal finish 5th this season.
I think that outside the top 4.
Yeah, well, obviously you guys have spent money. You've got Frimpong, Wirtz, you're getting Kirkes in, and you probably get a striker and a defender. Yeah. So you guys are definitely in there. Man City, they're in there.
Yeah.
I expect Chelsea to make a couple of more signings and get in there. Yeah. And then you got to look at the likes of Newcastle. You know, I think Newcastle, you know, they might make a couple of signings as well. Obviously, PSR might play a factor in it as well. Man United, you know, if they get their business done, they got 1 game a week.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be easy for Arsenal, and their showing for this is to get Benjamin Sesko. Yeah, I don't get that, man. But who knows, man? But Saeed has said, and I'll let you answer this, and then I'm going to give you my take on it after, yeah? So he said, I think Wirtz is a flop. Most of you don't even watch him play except Germany. Now, what you got to say about that?
Why is he a flop, though? We haven't seen him in the league yet. He's doing it for... You got to think, he's in a league where Bayern Munich practically run that league.
Yeah.
Like, as much as Bayern Munich practically run that league. But to do what Xabi Alonso did with Bayern Leverkusen, and even to get on a bigger stage, on a World Cup stage, do you know what I mean? To get on a bigger stage and to play against players you're not playing in, week out. Like Bruno Fernandes is from the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? And he's made Bruno Fernandes look like he's in a schoolyard. So again, to me, I'm looking at it and I'm going, he's not a flop because the kid is not thinking about where he's playing. He's playing his game. And that to me says a lot. When a player comes in and it doesn't make a difference where he's playing. He plays like to me, my favorite player of all time is Ronaldinho. No matter where Ronaldinho played, he played like he was playing on the school field. And to me, there's not many players that are like that left. Like Neymar was like that. Like, so to me, until he gets to the Premier League and keeps playing the same way he's playing at Germany and how he was playing in Germany for Bayer Leverkusen, we can't say whether or not he is a flop. But again, what constitutes as a flop? Are we expecting him to get 30 goals a season? Personally, no. Personally, I'm expecting him to come in and to offer Liverpool a different avenue. As long as he's dancing past players, looking like he's, do you know what I mean? Looking like he's part of the squad. And the difference is you pay that money for a player for him to come in and to slip automatically into that Liverpool squad and play like he's meant to be there the whole time. Yeah. That to me says a lot more about a player being ultimately being part of that team rather than being, do you know what I mean, a flop. Because to me, what constitutes as a flop? What's the expectations for him? Like, what are we expecting? Like, are we expecting 10 goals, 10 assists? Are we expecting him to dance around players? Are we expecting him to start every game? What's the ceiling for him? Like, where does it end? And where, do you know what I mean? So, to me, I think the kid is going to be brilliant.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know what? Yeah. To say that, obviously, most of you don't even watch him play. Like, again, I'm not sure how he can base that. What's he basing that on? Because you don't know what people are watching daily. So
exactly.
But for myself, you know, I've been watching Wirtz ever since he broke onto the scene. You know, when he's wearing number 27 on his back for Bayer Leverkusen, and immediately you could see the quality he had, you know. And for me, Florian Wirtz is a Barcelona, Man City type player, the way that he plays, you know.
Yeah.
And when I think when Said is saying that he's gonna flop, I think Said is looking at the physicality side of it, you know, because he's looking at Florian Wirtz's build. You know, he's probably thinking that, you know, he won't hack the physicality of the Premier League. But what I would say, Florian Wirtz again is going to a Liverpool team who 9 times out of 10 in this league are going to be the dominant team. You'd probably only say Man City away from home, you know, possibly Arsenal.
Yeah.
You know, are the only 2 teams, you know, maybe a Chelsea. You know, you'd probably say they're the only teams where Liverpool won't be on the ball as often.
Yeah.
You know, because again, you're looking at Klopp's teams, yeah. Klopp's teams were, you know, they were high energy. You know, they done their most damage without the ball.
Yeah.
But you can tell with the players that Arne Slot's bringing in, he wants to dominate the ball. So my thing is, you know, the physicality side of it, Florian Wirtz won't really be found out in that sense because he's going to be on the ball more times than he's not. You know, because he's going to be in a dominant team.
It's that, but then to interrupt you, in that similar sense, Coutinho was never built for the Premier League. But again, dancing around. So to me, the physicality side of it wouldn't bother me because in order to get physical with him, you got to get close enough to the kid to get physical.
There you go.
Again, how close, how you have to be. It's a bit like McAllister. People look at McAllister at the height he is and go, like, we can bully him. Try it. Do you know what I mean? Try it. Let him show you. My size makes no difference. I can bully you as much as you want to bully me. Yeah. I'm here to fight again. Do you know what I mean? So again, to me, the physicality side of it, like you say, makes no difference if we're dominating the ball. You still got to get close to him.
Yeah.
So
well, me personally, he's not going to struggle for me anyway because I think people that think he's going to flop. Again, what's the barometer for it? Because if you're saying if you expect him to score 50 goals, he ain't going to do that. But what he will do is that he will contribute goals and assists. So I expect with the kind of player that he is, the quality of player that he is, you know, in his first season, I expect him to reach, you know, minimum 20 GA. So that could be what? 10 goals, 10 assists, or 12 goals, 8, you know what I mean? Whatever it may be.
Yeah.
I expect him to get 20 as a minimum. And then I expect every season for him to go up and up and up. And as I said, he's going to be playing in a team that's going to dominate the ball.
Yeah.
And he will be the chief creator in that team. So to say that he's going to flop, you know, is like, I don't agree with it personally. You know, I think you're miles off there, Saeed, man, thinking that he's going to flop.
Yeah.
It's miles off there, man.
It's a big statement based on nothing. We haven't seen the kid in the Premier League yet. So until we start seeing them in a Liverpool shirt and seeing how they line up and how he integrates with the team and how well he contributes and how well he's sort of speaking to people and doing his thing. Do you know what I mean? Until we see that side of it, none of us can comment and go, oh yeah, it's going to be a flop. Because you could have looked at Pogba and gone, Pogba in that Man United team is going to cook. Do you know what I mean? When you look to
the thing is with Pogba, though, he was failed by the club. Yeah. The club didn't provide the players around him to maximize his skill set.
There you go. And that again is part of the parameter. Liverpool now set up a good enough squad to be like, actually, this is what we're working with. This is what you're coming into. These guys will protect you.
100%. And as I said, man, I will put money down on it that he won't flop, because a player like that, the quality that he has, you know, I think, and again, because of the money that's been spent, it's easy to say he'll flop. Because, and Saeed, if you're still in the chat, Saeed, let us know what you think the barometer is for Florian Wirtz to flop. Because if you're asking for something unrealistic like 50 goals, then in your head he's gonna flop. But let us know what you think he's gonna flop at. because I would like to know, But yeah, big up anyway, man. But so Monkey King has said, interesting enough, during games, Slots actually taken players off and deployed Grav as a centre back. So Jonas might be onto something. What he does allow is a lot of tactical flexibility. And you know what? This is something that I agree with, because what Slot does very well is that if he's chasing a goal, he'll take off a centre back and still have Gravenberch on there to play centre back, because Gravenberch can pass.
Yeah.
So if you've got Gravenberch next to Van Dijk, you've got the leader in Van Dijk, and you still got Gravenberch who can play, and that just means getting on an extra attacker.
Yeah.
Whereas some managers might just take off and do like for like replacement.
Yeah.
But he's putting Gravenberch at the back, knowing that he can play out from the back and have that extra midfielder or extra attacker on the pitch and go for it. And that's what I love about what Slot does. Whereas my manager, well, it ain't my manager, Amarim, he does a total opposite. It's just like for like replacements, and he has absolutely no impact on the outcome of the game.
Forward. Yeah. So it's going forward. So he has no impact on, like, okay, let me take this guy off because this guy adds a bit more attacking prowess. Yeah. Let me get the game. Once he's in the game, then we can sort of figure it out. But it was always going to be, I think he was always going to have a tough time. Amarim.
Yeah. Mate, he shouldn't be there for me still, I'm honest with you. He should have been sacked, but obviously there's no point me wasting my breath and saying the same thing, because he's going to be here. But the first 5 games of the season, he's under pressure, because as I mentioned earlier today, I expect minimum 3 wins from his first 5 games. I don't care who they're playing.
Yeah.
It's just got to be 3 wins. If he gets 4 draws and a win, not good enough. If he manages to get 2 or 3 losses in there, get him out. Because last season was nothing short of an embarrassment. And the problem is you have so many fans saying he ain't got his own players. Now, I've mentioned this so many times. This whole nonsense about he hasn't got his own players. The only way you get given time to get your own players is if you prove that you're doing a good job with the players you have.
Yeah.
Because there's no manager apart from Klopp, Pep, that get their own players. And in a sense, they had to prove this themselves.
But even that, like you say, when Klopp first came in, you got to look at the team Klopp had when he first came in. And people were making a laugh and a joke of us because we were clapping at the end of games and going, what are you man doing? What are you man doing? Do you know what I mean? We had we had Lovren, we had I can't remember his name now. The centre back from PSG. Like we had dog shit. We had dog shit teams.
Centre back from PSG, who's that?
I'm sure he was at PSG. The black guy with the little Mohican thing.
Oh, Mamadou Sakho.
We had him.
Yeah. I forgot about him. Yeah, he was rated highly as well. Sakho.
We had what the hell did we?
Ragnar Klavan.
Yeah.
Jose Enrique. Yeah, man. Bro, Alberto Moreno. Bro, yeah, it's a massive list, man. Massive list.
Terrible players, bro. We have some terrible players, brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you look at it, but again, he gave those players enough belief to then go on and get to European Cup final. Although we lost, you know what I mean? Although we lost it, he still somehow managed to get them there.
Yeah.
So for me, like you say, it's more about what he does with the players. Like, fair enough, they might not be your players, but you have to give them enough. You have to give them enough belief to be like, look, if you want to be here, you will make yourself part of this squad, and you will show me why you're good enough to be on this pitch. Yeah, you know what I mean. So,
yeah. Well, but this is the thing. I think the sign of a good manager is adapting to your players. And the problem that I had with Amarim is that Amarim is hell bent on playing this 3 at the back system. Yeah, but you can clearly see it's not to the suitability of the players he has. And, obviously they're looking to get players in for him now this season. But the problem is that I look at this Man United squad, and with the signing of Cunha, if he was to revert to a 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3, because again, that's the formation that I want to see United play. It's the formation that I've always seen United play, obviously of recent times. And if you look at because I done this the other day, and if you look at what Man United could possibly have, yeah. Let me just share my screen with you, yeah, and
Yeah.
and I'll show you what I mean, so we can run through it, yeah. Bear me 1 minute.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me see this. Let me just get this up. Because the thing is as well, yeah, I actually didn't realize this as much, but the actual team that he could play if he just went to a 4-2-3-1, or if he was to get sacked, for instance, and the formation changes, another manager comes in. If you look at the 1 minute, all these ads all over the place. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
All right, 1 minute. I'm just gonna get this up. So what I'm gonna do, yeah, I'm gonna go to a 4-2-3-1 with the players that United have right now. It's the 4-2-3-1. Where is it? Oh, here we go. It's 4-2-1-3. So 4-2-3-1, yeah, with the players United have. So again, obviously United for me, obviously there's been interest in the keeper, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's just say, for instance, we'll keep Anana in there, and I want to show you, yeah, Man United have actually got a very good team, just not in this system, because this system is making players look worse, yeah. So if we say we got Onana in goal, yeah, then if we look at the fullback options, you know, for me, right back, Mazraoui. See my screen, yeah?
Yeah.
So for me, right back, Mazraoui. I mean, I think in this three at the back system, Mazraoui for me is better as a right-sided centre back or a left-side centre back. But in the 4-2-3-1, we've got Mazraoui right back, and then left back, you've got Patrick Dorgu.
Yep.
Yeah. And then what's happening? And then centre backs, you got Matthias de Ligt. And again, this only one signing in Cunha. But I want to show you the team that United could have if this manager was to just ditch this nonsense, the three at the back. Because I don't rate this three at the back, but obviously it's his formation, but this formation is killing United. And people think that this manager is going to get, 7-8 players, which ain't going to happen. So you look at this team now, yeah? They've got... what's happening? So this team now, yeah, they've got De Ligt, Euro, Mazraoui, Dorgu, yeah? Then if you was to say, let's say Casemiro, yeah?
Yeah.
So Casemiro in there. Because the three at the back exposes Casemiro a lot as well.
Yeah.
But this formation, I think, could do well. And let's say you got Kobbie Mainoo.
Yeah.
The Kobbie Mainoo there, yeah? Now, Sancho's coming back. You got Cunha, you got Ahmad. There's been links to Brian Mbeumo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and obviously Gyökeres as well. But if we just deal with the players that we've got, yeah. So on the left there, you've got Sancho. On the right here, you've got Ahmad.
Yeah.
And then you've got Cunha now in the 10. And then you've got Xerxes as the striker. So, you know what, yeah? Just based on him changing the formation and playing the 4-2-3-1, yeah?
Yeah.
What do you think of this team?
Personally, I wouldn't start Casemiro.
Okay.
Only because I think he's getting to an age now where he's getting past. I would much rather start who's the other guy you bought from?
Ugarte.
Yeah, I'd start Ugarte.
Yeah. But the problem is, yeah, I think Casemiro for me for his leadership, yeah.
Yeah.
So I would start Casemiro for his leadership, and also I'm someone that wants to play good football as a manager, and Ugarte is not going to help you play good football. So you're battling between Ugarte and Casemiro in this system, which is why for me United need to go and get another midfielder. Now, people might be saying, "Oh, where's Bruno?" Bruno doesn't play in my best team in this formation. He doesn't, because Bruno for me, because Cunha's here now in the 4-2-3-1, I'd have Cunha there as a 10, and deep lying, I'd much rather see Kobe Minu there and Casemiro, or from what's available, you've got probably Toby Collier on your Ugarte there as well. But we all know United need to get another midfielder anyway.
Yeah.
But just looking at this team in the 4-2-3-1, I'm looking at this team and I'm thinking, this team, you know, for me, I'd expect them to be competing for top 6. Yeah, with just these players. Yeah. Then if we're saying United look to add players, yeah. So let's say you look to put in Brian Mbeumo on that right-hand side.
Yeah.
You know, you've got Ahmad on the bench, let's say. Because Ahmad for me is a top player, but he's still young. And if you've got an Mbeumo who's a goal threat, you've got Ahmad on the bench, but a great option to have as someone that can be on the bench and making an impact. Or if you look at it this way, whoever's playing well gets the shirt, basically. Yeah. So you'd have Mbeumo there. Then, if you was to get let's say, for instance, a striker, Osimhen, Gyökeres, whoever, and you start them there, you can now play Xerxes in the 10. And then that means Cunha could go and play on the left where Sancho is.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. It's a different
Now all of a sudden, you know, this attack looks frightening. And then we go into the midfield. I want Carlos Baleba because he's left-footed. He adds the balance to the midfield. You know, he's someone... Well, since Fred, United haven't had a central midfielder that's left-footed. So Baleba will go there. And then you've got the likes of Douglas Luiz, who they can try and get on loan as well. Yeah. And if you have Douglas Luiz in there instead of Casemiro, Baleba there, you've now got Kobe, who can play as a 10. Cunha can go out to there. Sancho can also go on the right, you know. And then all of a sudden, this team, for me, I will go as far as saying I expect them to get into the top 4.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, it pushes you at a different angle now.
And that's all based on just changing the formation. You see what I mean? So the fact that this manager is hell-bent on playing his formation, you know, the team now looks like there's loads of holes in this team.
Yeah.
But changing the formation, I look at that team now and I think, do you know what? This is a very good team. You've got Sancho and Ahmad, who are 2 creators. Yeah. You've got Cunha here, who's a goal scorer and a creator and a maverick.
Yeah.
You've got Xerxes, who facilitates the attack. As I said, it'd be perfect for someone like Liverpool.
Hold up, man.
Huh?
Great hold up, man.
Like great hold up play as well. Yeah.
Holds up the play.
And then you've got pace in the fullback areas in Dorgu, who's physically strong as well. Mazraoui's experience, you know, consistency at fullback. Yeah. And then for me, you've got a pair in there. Now, me personally, I prefer a left-footed centre-back to add balance. But you've got a pair in there that can rival the likes of Gabriel Saliba, Konate, Van Dijk, in terms of being the best centre-back pairing in the league. and then you've got Onana, who we know is a bit iffy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, as I said, man, and then again, if you're getting Mbeumo in, and then you want to take out Sancho and Ahmad, let's say for argument's sake, then you've got a goal threat from Mbeumo on the right-hand side. You've got Cunha's goal threat from there. Then you can still have Xerxes as the facilitator to facilitate the goals from out wide.
So what would it take then at this point? What would it take for Bruno to get back into your team?
So for me, I would have moved Bruno on. I would have moved him on because the problem that I have with Bruno is that people will say about his numbers, but Bruno doesn't make the team better. He don't. He takes away from everyone because he's ill-disciplined for one. If you think about him playing in that system as a number 10, you need your number 10s to get in between the lines and create. But what Bruno will go and do is that he'll go and pick the ball up from right back, left back. He'll be everywhere but where he should be playing.
Yeah, which is far.
And he's just trying to do everyone's job because he thinks he's that guy. But the problem is, I would argue he's a detriment to the team more than a positive. So for me, if I'm playing Man United's best team, he wouldn't play in it. Like, I'd force him at the club. But we know Amorim's going to play him. And the problem Amorim has now is that in this three at the back system, Bruno can only play central midfield. And even that, he's a liability against the better teams. Because he's not going to play him as a 10 because Cunha's come in there now. And he can't play there because playing in that 10 position, you got to be good with the ball at your feet in tight spaces, which Bruno isn't. So this manager is hell-bent on playing Bruno, but you need to upgrade that midfield. And until that happens, this team's always going to struggle because Bruno Fernandes really, really and truly should have been moved on. 100 mil for a 31-year-old, and he's still at the club. The club should have forced him out. Should have forced him out. You know?
At 31, especially to get that sort of amount, again, you don't get that next year. And it's like people go, but I'm sure he's the same. Do you know what I mean? He's what we embody and stuff like that. And like you say, you might be different to most Man United fans, but it's like, actually, I don't need him here anymore. He's done his time. Let's move him. Let's get someone else in who's younger and freaking can do the job a little bit better. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, no, I hear it, man. I hear it, but yeah, it's it's mad, man. I mean, I don't rate the player. You know what I mean? And the fact that he's one of the biggest earners now, he's going to keep playing on this manager. His manager loves him. You know what I mean? Yeah. And for me, they need an upgrade in that central midfield position, but who knows what's going to happen, man. But big up to Yasin. Yasin has said, what's the Liverpool supporters' opinion on Liverpool doing Mane dirty and doing the same now to Harvey Elliott?
It's not doing him dirty, though, because it's a case of now, again...
What's happened to Harvey Elliott? What does he mean by that? Because I'm not too sure what's happened.
Well, there's talks of him going. Okay. So it's a case of whether or not he's going somewhere else. And he's had a great few years at the club. Brilliant. But again, if he wants first team football and he's not starting where he wants to play and whatever else, because essentially he's good to come off the bench. I just don't know if he's good enough to start. That's the problem with Harvey Elliott. But again, he's playing in the same position as Salah. Yeah. So again, it's a case of, is Liverpool really going to go a man that's been consistent for 8 seasons, we're just going to drop you now and play Harvey Elliott? Do you know what I mean? It's not going to happen straight away. It might be at the end of this year that they turn around and go, look, Salah's potentially looking at going. We still want you here. Yeah. You're still young enough. Do you want to stay? You've won stuff with this club. You know what it takes to win stuff. You've been more than good enough. Do you know what I mean? So it's a case of, is he willing to come in and do a job when it's required? Or does he want first team football, like a Kelleher, like a like what's his name that went to Brentford from us?
What, defender?
No, midfielder. We got him.
Fabio Carvalho.
Yeah, Carvalho. again, he could be like Cavalier where he wants to play. But again, Cavalier's gone to Brentford.
Yeah.
And not done much.
Yeah.
So it depends to me on the attitude of Harvey Elliott. If he wants to go, I understand it. But if he wants to stay and fight for his position, stay and fight. Learn from Mo Salah, and when Mo Salah goes, you're next in. Do you know what I mean? So
What the thing is though with Harvey Elliott, the problem that he has here is that he's actually a central player. I think the only reason why I think people talk about him playing where Salah plays is because he's left-footed and it's more of an inverted thing.
Yeah.
And obviously he can play out there, but he's actually a central player. The problem he has is that if you're playing the formation that they play now, what, a 4-4-2-3-1,
yeah,
it's like Dominic Szoboszlai plays in the 10 because of his physicality. You know, he runs up and down. He's physical with it as well, which Harvey Elliott offers a different kind of threat. He isn't that kind of player. Again, if they want to play him from the right-hand side, he's not going to offer the same thing that Mo Salah does, because Mo Salah's a goal threat, and Mo Salah in his prime offered the pace and the strength as well. Again, Harvey Elliott's more of a technical player.
Correct.
So even if you play a three at the back, you're not going to play Harvey Elliott as one of the two pivots in there with Gavin Bertrand McAllister. In the 10, I could see him playing there, but then Florian Wirtz is coming now, and obviously Szoboszlai has been playing ahead of him anyway. So really and truly, he hasn't really got a place in any kind of formation, and that isn't because he isn't good enough. It's because what Slot I think is looking for, you know, because you can kind of say, oh well, you know, he could do a similar thing to Florian Wirtz in the sense of both of them, you know, you might look at them as lightweight, but both are creative. The problem is Florian Wirtz has cost 150. You know what I mean? And he's coming in straight away to play. There's no questions there. And Harvey Elliott, being that he's left-footed, the only places that he can kind of contend with is out wide, which ain't going to happen because Salah's there. He's your highest earner. And then in central midfield, you're only really going to get, you know, sub-minutes really coming off the bench and trying to have an impact. So if he's happy with doing that and playing Carabao Cup games, then fair enough. But if he thinks he's going to be a regular starter, then that's not going to happen. And that isn't because he ain't good enough. It's just because they've just got players there that really and truly we all know that's going to start.
Exactly. And players that are a bit more athletic and offer a different game to what Harvey's offering. Like Harvey might be good in the games where, like you say, where we can't break a team down, and him or Inverts have got to work together in order to break these teams down. He might be great in games, but in the games where it's a bit more physical, it's a bit more like Szoboszlai's got to be in and around these players. Harvey can do that. Do you know what I mean? So it depends on what way Liverpool are looking at it and how Harvey fits into that system. Yeah,
I agree. I think for his career, and again, he has to look at his England credentials as well.
Yeah.
He needs to, like, not even alone. I think he probably just needs to just leave Liverpool and go to a club where he can play week in, week out. And I think he's good enough to play week in, week out at most clubs in this league. But it's not going to be at Liverpool, because Liverpool, they're trying to go for league titles, Champions League, and unfortunately for him, he hasn't really got a place in the side, because even if Mo Salah, when he does eventually move on, the only direct replacements for Mo Salah in this league are the likes of Mbeumo and Kudus.
Yeah.
In terms of, you know, they're both African as well. Yeah. Salah's African, so they'll offer, you know, the physicality, the pace. And Harvey Elliott, if he does play out there, which I mean, again, he isn't a natural winger, he isn't going to offer what those guys offer. So even if Salah does go, it's not even going to say that he's going to start in the future when Salah goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but Monkey King has said another one Liverpool have been linked to is Diamande as well. The thing is that the Diamande one, do you know who he is? Diamande.
Yeah.
From Sporting Lisbon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is, The reason I don't see that one is because Diamande's right-footed, and you've got Konate there already.
Yeah, we don't need any more. Right? We need a left-footed centre. We
A
need
left-footed one, yeah.
Yeah, we need
So,
a left.
yeah, I mean, but in a sense, really, yeah, when you actually think about it, they haven't really got too many defenders at Liverpool.
No.
So I can see where the link's coming from, but I'll take it more seriously if it's a left-footed one, because you definitely need a left-footed one to add to the balance. But because I don't think Kwanzaa's good enough. You know, Joe Gomez as well is injury prone. So really and truly, you've only got Van Dijk and Konate.
Yeah.
So really, you actually need another defender.
Yeah, we've only literally got 2 defenders. So if one of them goes, we're more or less in the mud. Mud. Like we're more.
So you know what? Based on that, I mean, do you reckon they definitely going for defender in this transfer window?
Yes, I think they need to. Even at that, I still think Kwanzaa could be going Newcastle. Like, do you know what I mean? Because Newcastle have apparently looked at him.
Yeah.
He could be going out in this transfer window. So again, the player you're losing, but again, you need to. I think we need at least another, like you say, another 2 defenders.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
because it's a lot of games, and the moment someone gets injured,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's no playing in simple, like especially in this league, the games come fast, and there's only so many games that so many people can play. Like Van Dijk can't play every game physically. You know what I mean? Getting an age now, like we have to start thinking about where we're gonna, like, do you know what I mean? How we're gonna slow this down and how we're gonna build
and improve.
Yeah. So another defender will be perfect.
Yeah, but again, man, I think this is why. I think it was Monkey King that said it. So I think Yoro Hato is a must now that I think about it, because as I said, he can cover at left back as well. And Robertson, do you reckon he gets moved on? Robertson,
I reckon this is last season. I reckon he's got one more season in him. Okay. I reckon he's got one more season in him, and then I reckon he's gone. I think Kirkes, because you got to think about it, they'll be looking at embedding Kirkes and Tsimikas.
Yeah.
So I think.
Oh yeah, Tsimikas as well. I forgot about him. Yeah.
That's what I mean. They'll be looking at locking those 2 down for left back.
Yeah.
But again, Tsimikas is still young. Kirkes is young. But Robertson would put their arm around him and sort of go, look, this is what we're doing. Blah, blah. And then in a year, he'll probably go and play in Scotland, I reckon.
Yeah.
So
I agree. Just like his compatriot Kieran Tierney from Arsenal. He's gone back to Celtic, isn't he? So
do you know what? I couldn't believe he was still at Arsenal.
Yeah.
I believe he was still at Arsenal.
Yeah. Like, to be honest with you, I think he should have got a lot more game time than he did.
Yeah.
But he's gone back to Celtic now, so that's mad. Yeah. So Manga King has said, what's your thoughts on Ekitike as a striker for Liverpool? I'm hearing the deal with Chelsea collapsed for the moment. For me, Ekitike would be a good signing for Liverpool, because as we mentioned, you know, for me, when I look at Liverpool need a striker that can be a link man, as well as, you know, run the channels and get goals. And I think Ekitike, for me, he fits that profile. I think the only stumbling block really is that he's going to cost about 84 million.
Yeah.
And whether Liverpool fork out that amount of money after spending what they spent on Wirtz, I'm not too sure.
The thing is now is you got to think, if Liverpool spend that money on Wirtz now, down by Kirkes, and then the toss up now is either it's depending on how much Hato's going to cost, because you still got to think, even if they sell Diaz, Nunes this season, like if you sell both of those, that already is 140 mil. Because you're looking at 70, 60 for Diaz, and you're looking at 70.
What? You reckon Diaz would go for 70 mil?
Oh yeah, that's what they're saying.
70 mil for Diaz. I didn't really. How much you guys pay for him?
How much was Diaz? I want to say it was like 40 or 50. I don't think it was. But
how long has he got left in his contract? Though? That's the main thing.
yeah, I think he's still got 2 years. I think he's got 2 years.
Okay. Yeah.
Alisson's into his last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I say, for me, because Barcelona apparently were looking at him. We're looking at Diaz.
Yeah. But Barca have made him their top target.
Yeah. So again, you can charge whatever you want. People need that. If that's your top target, you're going. Because the thing is Liverpool. People forget we've sold quite a few players, and that's what the money was for Caicedo from. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when we sold all those players, and people going, "Oh yeah, but you're going to go and spend 110 mil." That's fine. We've got money from winning the Premier League. We've got money. Do you know what I mean? So we've got money from Champions League. We got. So it's, for me personally, Liverpool are quite smart in terms of they haven't outspent what they've earned. So in terms of that, it's a case of now, if you're gonna go and buy it, because again, he's a great alternative to Isak. People are comparing him to Isak and going, it's a similar mold of the striker, but again, the risk is we know what Isak's done in the league. We don't know what Ekitike is going to do in the league.
Yeah. Let's not forget as well, he was at PSG. Ekitike.
There you go. See? So it's a case of what are you spending the money on?
Yeah.
Am I getting a 30 goal? And again, does the price tag look at him and go, we want 30 goals out of you, or we only want? So it's, for me, it's still. But the attacking options, and this is the thing that people forget, Chiesa hasn't played much for Liverpool.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned him actually. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Chiesa hasn't played much for Liverpool, but again, for me, a great signing at the price we got him for, and if we can keep him fit now, going into this new season, is another attacking threat.
Yeah.
But then you get rid of Nunes and you get rid of Diaz. Diaz is probably one of the most frustrating people to watch, because you know what he can do. It's just sometimes when he gets in front of goal, you just get it on target, please. Just get it on target. So for me, it's more a case of, are we selling these two players to then go and get DK, who then potentially is going to become great, becoming the next Isak, or are we spending the same money we did on Nunes for it then to become ours? It's just the next Nunes.
Yeah.
So
I think. Well, for sure, the fact that Slot played Diaz through the middle.
Yeah.
I think the writing's on the wall for Nunes, and rightfully so, because Nunes ain't good enough, and I think the fact that they turned down the 70 million for him from Saudi, that could only have been because it was during the season and they wanted cover.
Yeah.
But whether that deal is going to be there again, I'm not too sure. But he needs to be moved on, and yeah, I mean, I can see them definitely get a striker in. I just don't know who it's going to be.
Yeah,
because
a
lot of these strikers now, the likes of Ekitike, Osimhen, Gyökeres, they've all been linked with the same clubs like Liverpool, United, Chelsea. But there's no one concrete that you would say can say that, or even Arsenal as well. There's no one concrete that you would say is going to get them. And
exactly,
I think the intent would be, if Liverpool do move out Nunes before, because you definitely think if Nunes does go, they're going to be in the market for someone straight away.
Which is what they'll be looking at.
Yeah, but 84 million. I mean, what do you reckon? 84 million.
Exactly.
Would you pay that?
It's. I reckon we pay it because he's still young.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. The Liverpool squad now is quite young. The only people of age really is Van Dijk, Salah, and Alisson. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone
the old god.
yeah. Everyone is young. Do you know what I mean? The second string keeper is a keeper that they bought, which was quality. they let Kelleher go. Personally, I would have loved to keep Kelleher, but again, he wants to play.
Regular football, yeah.
Yeah, he wants to play regular football. I don't blame him, but to move on to Brentford is where he's going to play regular football. So
yeah. I think the Kelleher one was obvious. I mean, you got Mamadashvili, and to be fair, Mamadashvili is a very good keeper, and he's going to be the number one once Alisson's done. So I think in terms of, you know, goalkeepers, and again, you got 18 million for Kelleher, for someone really that wasn't a regular. So you've got money there to spend. It's mad. But I just think, I can see Liverpool getting another couple of players, man, for sure. But I think just like with many teams this season, so far, there's no outgoings. You know, you look at United, there's no outgoings at the moment. The same with City, the same with Arsenal, the same with Chelsea. Like, there's no really no outgoings. But I think once this window opens back up, I think you'll definitely see something happen on that front there. You know.
Definitely.
Wait, what's this? So this is one for you to answer, because I already know. But so DXR says, obviously he's asking Sham, but did Mane and Salah have beef? I wasn't following that deeply back then, stuck with uni stuff. So,
no.
In your opinion, you reckon there was beef there?
Nah, there was always.
You don't think?
There was always love between them. Even when you look at when they played together, like after the African Cup of Nations, you know what I mean? That cemented it all. They did it out, and even when Mane won, he still went over and was like, "Look, do you know what I mean?" I don't think there's any bad blood between them. I think Mane just said, "I've done my time here. It's time for me to move on."
Yeah.
Which is fair enough. Do you know what I mean? You reach a point, you've won everything. What else is there left for me to win? Let me move on and try a new challenge.
I've got a bit of a difference of opinion on that one. Me personally, I think there was a bit of friction there. Purely because, you know, if you was to ask the majority of Liverpool fans, I would say, who would you have, Salah or Mane? If you're a football fan, you would say Mane. But if you want results, you'll say Salah. And that's because Salah gets numbers. But Mane made the team better. So I think based on that, Salah under Klopp was getting preferential treatment. Because remember, there was a game where, you know, Salah wasn't passing, and then Mane's the one that come off, and Mane started getting mad. You know, Mane for me was very underrated, because everyone looked at Salah because Salah was just a goal machine. You know, and I think there was something there between them. You know, both African rivals as well. Although they are playing for the same team, you know, you would think that there is something that they can. Obviously, there is a common goal there, of course. But I do think there was some sort of friction, if I'm honest.
I don't think you have one without the other, though. That's my problem. I think if you take either one of them out of the team, you don't have one without the other. As much as that, and that's what was good about them. You could take Salah out of the team, but Mane, you know what I mean? I think like.
But then again, and this is where you have to rate Salah, because Mane's gone, and Salah, in terms of numbers, is still consistent.
Exactly. 8 seasons to do what he's doing. And no comment. Do you know what I mean? There's at least got to be a conversation.
And the thing is, I'm not even Salah's biggest fan. I don't rate him as a footballer. But one thing I will say is that there's no one that can deny his consistency in terms of scoring. You know, and that's what it's about, man. So Sham says, regarding my comment about big transfers, don't get me wrong. I feel Wirtz will smash it with Liverpool. It's rival fans who want him to flop so they can laugh at the price we pay for him. Sham, listen, bro, I'm a Man United fan, man. We're rivals, but I don't want Wirtz to flop. I think Wirtz is a top player, man. And, you know, Man United's loss is Liverpool's gain. Because I was like, you know, ever since I've been doing my channel regularly, You know, Wirtz was one of the first players I wanted United to sign. You know, there was talk about when Bruno goes, Wirtz will be the ideal replacement. Of course, you know, and he was the number one target for me even in his system as a left 10, you know, or as a 10 in general. I knew we were never getting him, but I had to keep positive because you know, it was more hope, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not gonna start saying he's a flop because I don't think he's gonna flop. Ain't gonna happen for me, yeah. Go on.
I don't think he will. I think, like you say, it's just more. But then you look at, so like, let's be honest, like, how's nobody discussed the fact that Caicedo and Lavia have gone to Chelsea,
yeah,
and Liverpool won another title when they could have been at Liverpool and won the title. Do you know what I mean? But no one said a word. Like, it's all been swept under the carpet, and people are like, "Oh, Liverpool have got no pull and this and that," and it's just like.
Yeah, but I mean, to be honest with you, I was surprised actually that both of them chose Liverpool, chose Chelsea.
Yeah,
you know, but I mean, even though both of them for me, I think as a pairing in midfield, I think if Lavia stays fit, I think they're probably the best pairing in the league. If I'm honest, I rate both of them highly, man.
yeah.
But yeah, Liverpool got McAllister, man, and McAllister's underrated. He's a top player, McAllister.
Yeah.
You know, so. Yeah. And Gravenberch has come into his own as well. But Gravenberch was always going to play under Slot because, you know what I mean? Slot likes ball players, and which is why he don't play Nunes. He don't rate Nunes, you know?
Yeah.
And Gravenberch, obviously, when he was at Ajax, was highly rated. You know, there was links to Barcelona. Obviously, he went to Bayern Munich. And as we know, Bayern Munich, you know, they've got the likes of Kimmich in there. They've got loads of players, Goretzka.
Yeah.
And him getting regular game time, you know, wasn't happening. But look at him now at Liverpool.
Thiago was there at that time, I think.
Thiago Alcantara, I mean,
just,
come on, man. One of the best players of his generation, Thiago.
Mate, it's ridiculous. Thiago.
Oh, I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm jealous the kind of players you guys have had, man. Coutinho, Suarez, Thiago. And then we've got to deal with flipping Bruno Fernandes for the whole fucking season. Can you see what it is now? Can you see what it is?
Yeah,
it's madness, man. It's absolute madness. McTominay, Bruno, it's Ugarte.
So my thing to Man United fans was, I was like, if you do not let Scott McTominay go, I thought at one point Scott McTominay was going to be Man United captain, and people were like, no, he's fucking not, blah blah.
Listen,
Scott McTominay.
I think he actually was captain for one game. Funny enough,
I was like, Scott McTominay is more than good enough. Like, and I always. And people were going, oh, no. But when you look at what he'd done, I know Italy's a different game, but still, do what he did with Napoli.
Yeah.
Even the freedom. Even like when he plays with Robertson in Scotland.
Yeah.
The man, I don't know what it is. Again, he's like a Xhaka. He's not pretty on the eye, but he does a job.
Yeah.
And that's all you want. You just want a man to do a job.
I think the thing with Scott McTominay at Man United, is that he was misprofiled by a lot of managers because Mourinho was trying to play him as a deep line midfielder, you know, and even at times at centre back. Solskjaer the same thing, but everyone knew, you know, McTominay used to be a number 10 in the youth team.
Yeah.
So you can tell he was someone that was more attacking. But I think what happened is that at the time when McTominay was coming through, you had players there that were ahead of him in terms of talent, you know what I mean, and status in the game.
Yeah.
You know, and for me, McTominay should have gone years ago at Man United because he wasn't the level required. Just to see what he's doing at Napoli, I'm not really surprised because again, the Italian league hasn't got much physicality, and McTominay is you know what I mean. He's 6'4", he's physical, he runs all day. You know what I mean. He's got physicality in that league, which suits him.
Yeah.
And to see what he's doing now, it doesn't surprise me. Like, but I'm hearing people say that United should have kept him. United shouldn't have kept him. They shouldn't have kept him. He wasn't good enough. But yeah, I'm not surprised what he's doing in Italy because the guy can score goals from midfield. He can. He's a box-to-box midfielder, and in a league where it's not that physical, he's gonna shine. So
yeah,
I mean, he's got a league title for Napoli. So yeah, that can't be underestimated. But yeah, he wasn't a player that I liked seeing in a United team for sure, man. He was poor for me, but yeah, he's got a title, man, and well done to him. He's moved on, and Man United should be moving on as well. You know, so who are you thinking, Rodrigo? Oh man, listen. I mean, it goes from worst to worst, doesn't it? You know, but I mean, again, another player that I'd love to see at Man United, which ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm honest with you, there's only two teams for me in the Premier League that Rodrigo should go to and is ideal to go to. And that is Chelsea and Man City for me. And I'll tell you why for Man City. Man City, again, they're getting rid of Jack Grealish, who I'm a massive fan of. But Grealish, you know what I mean? He's not playing regularly under Pep. And some of his quality needs to be playing elsewhere regularly. Jeremy Doku's shit. And for me, whether they move him on or not, I don't know. I think Doku will be used as a bench option. So and obviously Omar Marmoush can play out on the left as well. Yeah. So for me, Rodrigo has a slot there where he instantly comes in and starts. And again, people, I'm not saying yourself, but a lot of people think Rodrigo is actually a right winger.
But it's not where he wants to be, is it?
He's not a right, he's a left winger. The only reason people think he's a right winger is because where he's being deployed, but he's only being deployed there because he hasn't got the bigger status like Vinicius Jr. or even Mbappe has.
Yeah.
But he's a better player than both of them. This is the thing. Yeah. As a footballer, he's better than both of them, but they've got the bigger status in the game. So Rodrigo's actually a left winger because him and Vinicius Jr. were both signed at the same time. Yeah. You know? And so for me, Man City have a slot there that is crying out for Rodrigo. And as we know with Chelsea, they're trying to get Bino Gittins, which again is another runner. You know, I heard today that Dortmund are asking for, I think, 60 or 70 million euros. I mean, if I'm Chelsea, I just walk away from that deal instantly.
Yeah. But Chelsea are playing like Monopoly money, isn't it? So,
yeah, literally. Yeah, exactly. But they're in the market definitely for a left winger because, you know, Mudryk hasn't played for time, and obviously his number 10 shirt's now gone to Cole Palmer. Yeah. Sancho's been returned, obviously. Yeah. Sterling, they want to get him off the books.
Too much money.
He's the highest paid player. He's on 300 grand a week.
300, which is mad.
Yeah. And Nkunku's on 280. You know what I mean? So they're just paying ridiculous money to players that they want to get rid of. So again, there's a slot for Rodrigo there. I mean, obviously you can say Liverpool as well, but they've still got Diaz there. Yeah. You know, they've obviously got Gakpo as well. Yeah. But Chelsea and Man City have slots there where he can instantly go there. Arsenal, as we know, I don't take them seriously. And Rodrigo, for me, why would he go there when we've got City and Chelsea who are on the up?
I look at it's that, and the problem you look at is three or four seasons in a row, you're challenging. The one season, like last season, you've got to look at it and go, Liverpool should have been nowhere near that talk.
Yeah.
Nowhere near that talk. And Arsenal should have taken every opportunity and gone, what do we need to buy in order to be serious contenders? Even in January, when they had injuries, even if you go and get a man on loan, like a Delap or someone, and go, I need someone that knows this, that knows, because you look at Delap in that team, to have the goals that he did is still good enough. Do you know what I mean? To have the goals that he did is still good enough. And no one picked him up, and Chelsea went, fuck it, we'll pay the money. We'll pay the money for him. So Chelsea must now be looking at it and going, we'll get rid of Nkunku, we'll get rid of Modric, and we'll get rid of Sterling because we got Delap now. Do you know what I mean? It's just, to me, it's just simple. Like, how does everyone see it and Arsenal don't see it?
What the thing as well, what people need to realize as well is that if you look at, I think I mentioned this to this on Monday, Man City, I can't remember if he's a coach or I can't remember what he is at Chelsea. He used to be at Man City, a guy called Joe Shields. And there's no surprise why Chelsea have got Adebayo, Romeo Lavia, Cole Palmer, Liam Delap now.
Yeah.
They're trying to get Bino Gittins. They all played with each other in the youth team at Man City.
Yeah.
Sancho as well was on loan. So they're trying to build like a little mini Man City there. And there's a reason why Liam Delap was heavily rumored to be going to Man United because of Jason Wilcox. Obviously had him at Man City.
Yeah.
But then if you look at all the former Man City players at Chelsea now, this is why they probably had the march on it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's why he's gone where he's gone, innit? So
that's why he's gone where he's gone, man. But again, I think just going back to the Rodrigo, you know, Rodrigo for me, he's a top player, man. Needs to leave Real Madrid, in my opinion, because he's never going to be given the respect that he deserves still being there.
No, yeah.
But he's gonna be a hard deal to do, because even if he comes out and says he wants to leave Real Madrid, like the bidding war is going to be about 100, starting at 100 mil.
Make it difficult. They're always going to make it difficult.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a hard deal, man. And whether anyone, you know, goes in and puts the bids in, I don't know. But I think it's going to need him to say he wants to leave, and then that's when you can start getting to work. But that's going to be a difficult deal forever.
Yeah.
I would say, you know. RJD, big up, man. Big up. He says Arteta taking 7 years to build a squad to challenge still. Klopp's built and won major honours in 4 to 5 years. There you go. And this is what I'm trying to say to you, yeah? It doesn't take too long, man, if you've got your philosophy and you just bring in the right players, you know. The fact that Arteta is still there is laughable. And a lot of fans just seem to be content with it, you know.
Any other manager would have been sacked by now. Would have been sacked.
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. And again, if you look at Arteta, this is Arteta's team.
Yeah,
it's his team.
There's no argument now. There is no argument now. There's no argument of now he's still building and blah blah. Now, big man, you spent 100 mil on Declan Rice. You've gone and spent the 80 mil on Kai Havertz. You've gone and spent the money. Do you know what I mean? You've got 1 year, good enough player to play, but you're playing Saka week in, week out till he gets injured. Why?
Yeah.
You got to give the man a rest at some point, or you got to at least say, "Look, Saka, I know you want to play every game. I can't play." I mean, so even Liverpool at some point, I've got to turn around and go, Salah, I know you want to play every game, but I can't play you every game.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's a case of it's managing that team to be like, done. Do you know what I mean? So
I think the biggest problems for it's like if you look at Arsenal and Liverpool is that they've like you've got two players in Salah and Saka under their managers. They're gonna play, you know what I mean, probably 95% of games. Yeah. Now the problem is that when you go and get a player, the first thing you're going to say to the player is you're going to be back up to Salah or Saka.
Yeah.
So that just means the player you're getting has to be a younger player that is going to be patient and bide their time. So because let's be honest with you, if Arsenal had anything about them, they'll go and sign Kudus.
Yeah.
And let Kudus and Saka battle it out. You know what I mean? But they're not going to go and do that because they haven't got what it takes.
No, they
because this is what they're doing. I mean, Ethan Nwaneri, for instance, he's a better footballer than Saka. He's very good.
Yeah.
But he's playing second fiddle to Odegaard, who's the captain, and Saka, who's arguably the best player. So as far as his development goes and game time, he ain't going to be getting that. And he's another one, really. If I'm Ethan Nwaneri, I know he's young, but football career goes quick.
Yeah.
If I'm him, I'm looking at either a loan or moving on permanently because he's not going to be getting game time, you know.
Exactly.
And this is the problem because as soon as you get an injury to one of them players, who you bringing in? Because players to bring in that's going to be backup ain't going to be easy. Yeah.
Bear with me a second.
Yeah, go on, bro. Go on. Yeah, go on, man. But yeah, guys, as I said, man, with Saka and Salah, you're gonna have to bring in players that are gonna be happy to sit on the bench and play every now and again, which again ain't gonna be easy to go and do. So that's the problem, man. But I just think, especially with Arsenal, they're gonna come unstuck with this whole Saka thing because it's one injury and you're back to square one, really. Monkey King says Odegaard shares responsibility as well. The game that springs to mind is the West Ham game. Free kick, 9 minutes, and he gives it to Sterling, who's low on confidence.
Great.
Yeah. Listen, that's I remember that game. And I think that's one thing I would say about Bruno Fernandes, because as much as I can't stand Bruno Fernandes takes that free kick in that moment because, again, he wants the glory. You know what I mean? And even though, as I said, I don't rate him, he does show what it takes at stages of a game in responsibility. Because I remember that game. Odegaard should have said, "Look, I'm the captain. I'm taking it." He let Sterling take it, and then they lose the game, obviously, to West Ham. But or was it a draw? I can't remember if it was a draw or a loss. But it says it all, innit?
Yeah,
it says it all, man. Right, guys, we're gonna wrap up in 10 minutes. So big up yourselves for coming on. Give us some more questions, guys. Make sure you smash that like button as well, and make sure you subscribe to my channel at Gavgoesin. DXR says Arteta is a big fraud. 100% DXR. He is a fraud, man. Any Arsenal fans that think he should still be there, I feel sorry for you. RJD says Arteta should be on his last life at Arsenal next season. I'll go one better than that. He should have been gone 2 seasons ago.
But again, how much time do you give him this season? Do you give him till January and go, if we're not making any progress by January, do we then cut him out? Or do you give him to the season?
Well, let's be honest, I told you that Amorim for me has 5 games.
Yeah.
If I'm Arsenal, and I'm in charge of Arsenal, you've got a manager here that for some reason he's the most protected manager I've seen in a while. So his mission statement this season should be nothing less than a title. Premier League title, which they ain't going to win. So how far is this going to keep going? Because if I'm giving Amorim 5 games, I think Arteta needs the same thing. Yeah. Because nothing less than a title. But even, what's the point of keeping him there?
Like, for me, even if he wins, so what has he got to win in order to stay in? Because he can't win an FA Cup. He can't win a Charity Shield. He's got to win something bigger, surely. He's got to
Premier League or Champions League.
Yeah. So
that's it. Yeah.
Doesn't win none of those. Surely at this point, you got to go, okay, all right, we did well. We got to the semis last year with PSG.
But Jonas. The thing is, he's not winning either. That's my point. he's not winning either, man. That's my point. So why he's still there? It don't make no sense. Because I can tell you this now confidently. They're not winning no league or Champions League. I can put money on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
it makes no sense why he's still there, but like you say, some Arsenal fans still believe it and still want him to be there as part of their team and part of their thing to say like, oh yeah, this is the man that's taken us to this level. Do you know what I mean? But
bro, it's a load of nonsense, man. It's because he's Spanish. Let's be honest, man. If he was a black African manager, he'd be gone already. Like, let's just keep it real, man. There's no way this manager deserves to be there because I've never seen a manager get protected that much. The thing is, he's got his own team, and he's won nothing.
Yeah,
nothing since he's been there. And people might tell you, he's got them to challenge, like challenging. What's that? Like, if you finish second, you're the first loser. Let's be honest.
Yeah. But it's like the point proven with what's his name, Mr. Good Evening, going from there to Aston Villa. And you look at Aston Villa and you think, but is this the same guy? Is this the same guy that was at Arsenal?
You think Arteta could do what Good Evening's doing at Aston Villa? No way. He couldn't. He couldn't. Yeah. He couldn't, man. And as I said, that's Arsenal's problem. Because if I'm Arsenal, keep him in charge, man. Because you ain't winning nothing. You know what I mean? So as long as they keep doing that, man, I couldn't give a damn. But just speaking honestly, how he's still there doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
So, but again, that's Arsenal's issue, man. Man United, we have bigger issues because, as I said, this manager, he's got 5 games for me, considering what happened last season. Because last season was an absolute joke. I mean, he got before the Aston Villa game, and let's not get confused, that should have been a loss as well. Because that referee screwed Aston Villa over. You know, and I believe in 2025, before the Aston Villa game, Amorim had 9 points.
Yeah,
in 2025.
Yeah, he had a stupid low amount of points.
And those wins came against the bottom teams, Leicester, and I think Ipswich might have been in there as well.
Yeah.
So
it's just mad. It is mad.
Yeah, madness, man. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see, man. But yeah, as I say, he's got 5 games. Arteta, we'll have to wait and see, man. Gabriel is the one that actually organizes the back line as well, talks through the game, throughout the game. You can tell Saliba has struggled without him. Yeah, listen, I mean, to be fair, that combination of Gabriel and Saliba, to be fair, is a very good defense. And one thing I would say as well, if Arsenal don't win nothing this season, again, as we said, not the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, the League or Champions League.
Yeah, it's got to be one of those.
Saliba, Saka have to be questioning their futures, because I'm not sure how long Saliba has on his contract, but I think you start hearing noise about him going. I'm not sure if he signed. I'm not sure actually if he signed a new contract. I know Gabriel signed a new contract.
I just don't know.
But I think Saliba might be looking at moving on if.
But again, Real Madrid come knocking, and they're looking at you and go, "Listen, we don't like it here, but come to Real Madrid. You can be part of the Galactico squad.
Yeah,
why are you still there? Do you know what I mean? So it's a case of one of the biggest clubs in the world come knocking. You're not going to turn around and be like, "No, I'm good, mate. I'm going to stick with Arsenal and still trust in the process." Do you know?
There you go. There you go. I mean, you know, if you look at as well with Saliba, when he was even out on loan at Marseille, innit? So you know, there was problems there, and obviously he got brought back. But if I'm him, you know what I mean, I'm definitely questioning the future, man, if they don't win no Champions League or
it's that, because like you say, you want one of the biggest trophies in the world. Like, you know, you can go and challenge for La Liga, but you want Champions League within your, do you know what I mean, within your statement.
Yeah. No, it's true, man. It's true. Should go through a couple more questions here before we wrap. So back-to-back player of the seasons for Wirtz, only player other than Salah to get double goals and assists. Been unbeaten in the league, with which Bayern hasn't done. He comes with promise. Listen, I can't argue with that.
Yeah,
I can't argue with that.
Yeah.
But as I said, as we know, man, he's a top player, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, Ronaldinho, man. So let me ask you, who's your top 3 players of all time?
Listen, Ronaldinho is number 1.
Yeah.
Then, see, the problem is I like a player of that era. So for me, it's Ronaldinho. Then I look at the original R9.
Yeah, come on.
Listen, the guy was just unreal. And then for me, it's a toss-up between Roberto Carlos and Marcelo. Marcelo as a left back was.
Listen, if you check out my content now, because I do you know, player spotlight, so I do comparisons, So I done Marcelo versus Ashley Cole, and Marcelo, for me, he's the best left back of all time.
Yeah.
I know people might say Paolo Maldini, but Maldini for me was more of a centre back. But in terms of just pure ability, I have not seen a better fullback in pure ability.
No.
He was better than some wingers. He was that good.
Yeah. And that's the problem. When you look at a game like that and you think to yourself, because the thing is, it's not only going forward, it's coming back.
Yeah.
And coming back, the guy could still push you into a position where he wanted you. Do you know what I mean? Push you out places and do things that he wanted you to do. But going forward, it was like playing against the winger. It was horrible.
Yeah. He was so talented, man. Like he was very good, man. I mean, Ashley Cole was a good left back, but Ashley Cole for me can't touch Marcelo. Marcelo was, and again, people might say he's playing in Spain. You know, there's always going to be differences of opinion, but I've not seen a better left back in terms of ability than Marcelo. He was ridiculous.
Yeah.
He was as close to a cheat code you would get.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're not meant to be that talented as a left back. You're not meant to be.
Exactly. What about your top 3 of all time before we go?
So, bro, 2 of them you said, man. So people ask me who's your favorite ever player. Yeah, I can't pick one because I've got players like Pogba, Neymar,
Yeah,
Martial. I'm a massive fan of as well. You know, I like players like Paulo Dybala as well.
yeah.
They're Eden Hazard. You know, they're guys that just deserve a mention. Yeah, but Zidane. You know, but when I'm picking my 3 favorite, for me, it's R9, the best ever striker that I've seen.
Yeah.
You know, Benzema, I'm a massive fan of as well. And Benzema modeled his game on R9. But for me, it's Messi, Ronaldinho, and R9 in no order. Like, they're the 3 best for me. You know, you've even got man like, remember Adriano at Inter Milan?
Mate. Mate, get out of the way of the ball. I tell you.
Listen.
I tell you,
bro, I was talking about this yesterday, yeah? For me, Adriano was he should have emulated R9.
Yeah. Yeah.
He should have emulated R9, but obviously, as we know, he fell off he went off the rails once his dad passed away.
Yeah.
But that he was illegal, man. Illegal.
It absolutely ridiculous. But it's like when people, it's like when we talk about, you know, like the streets will never forget. Like the streets will never forget Adel Tarab. Adel Tarab, mate. And this is what I mean. When we talk about football, when we talk about
Hatem Ben Arfa as well.
Oh, mate, listen.
Yeah.
Listen, it's crazy. It's absolutely mad. And like even like I remember because they were talking about John. Do you remember John Arne Riise, Liverpool's left back?
Yeah.
They were talking about John Arne Riise and they were going, "Oh, who's got the better shot power?" And I never forget there was a game. I can't remember what game it was. There's a free kick. Yeah. And John Arne Riise had this free kick and he broke someone's leg in the wall.
Oh, serious?
Yeah. And I heard it and it was horrible. Honestly, some of the shot powers that people have had is just unreal. And like you say, Yannick Bolasie for Crystal Palace. Ridiculous.
Yeah, very talented, yeah.
Ridiculous. Yeah. But again,
very talented.
But again, why have we... Sancho was that until he got to the Premier League.
But again, Sancho for me just needs to be playing in a system which... Because what the problem with Sancho is, yeah, and this is a symptom of football, especially with wingers in today's era, yeah. A lot of fans just expect all the wingers to be doing the same thing. Like they look at someone like I'll give you an example. Someone like Anthony Gordon. Yeah. Anthony Gordon is always going to try and run his man because that's a style of player that he is.
Exactly.
Yeah. Jadon Sancho is a number 10 playing out wide. You know, he likes to isolate the fullback and he's not going to go past him with pace because that isn't his game. He needs to link with the front man and, you know, manipulate the ball. That's the way he plays. But a lot of fans just try to compare him to other wingers that ain't the same profile. You know, Noni Madueke is another one. He's shit, but he's just direct.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's about understanding the qualities of certain players. And as I said, if you look at Sancho's never going to be a winger that's going to take his man on at every opportunity. He isn't that kind of player. So when I say he can't, like he's failed he hasn't failed in England. It's just that he needs to be playing in a team that wants to play to his strengths. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, man, it's one of them things. But let me just go through some more of the the chat, before we wrap. Guys, big up yourselves for coming on. I'm not sure how many likes we've got in there. If anyone knows how many likes we've got, put that in the chat. But yeah, we are going to wrap up, guys. Been going for 2 hours strong. You know, some good chat in there, man. You know, all about different things, man. About, you know, Liverpool, United, Chelsea, transfer window, players. You know, so yeah, man, it's been good, man. Jonas, bro, you got anything you want to plug, man?
Not at the moment, but what we are starting with a couple of the boys is we are starting a Liverpool podcast. So if there's any Liverpool fans, when I'm back again, we'll hopefully have it set up. and we'll just chat nonsense, basically. Just chat football, old school, new school, what's going on with Liverpool, game by game, week by week. But yeah, it'll just be fun. We'll have you on, Gav. Have you gotten in?
Yeah, come on, man. Listen. I'm always up for a talk on football, man. Just let me know, man. I'm always up for it, you know. But I think Sham obviously is a Liverpool fan. So Sham, if you're there, man, Jonas obviously is a Liverpool fan as well, like you know. And obviously, as he just said, man, he's got a podcast coming up that he wants to do, man. So yeah, make sure you shout him, man, if you can, or just send a comment in the after the stream's ended.
Well, like Sham, Daniela, whoever else is a Liverpool fan. Even if you're not a Liverpool fan, we'll get you on. We can discuss games of the week and stuff and see how you feel about your team. If your manager's shit and should go, like, you know.
We could be here all night, man. We could be here all night. But listen, bro, 100%, man. Just shout me. Let me know, man. And obviously, as I said, Sham, Daniela, make sure you shout him as well, man, if you are interested as well. But yeah, guys, listen, big up for coming on. As I said, big up to all the mods, big up to all the newcomers as well for coming in and contributing to the channel. As I said, it's been a good stream, man. Jonas, appreciate you coming on, bro.
No, I appreciate you having me. I hope you enjoy the break in the heat.
Yeah, I'll try, man. I'll try. I said I'm going to be streaming out there. I haven't got nothing scheduled, but I will definitely be trying to go live. You know, if not every day, but every other day.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I'll definitely be doing that, man. And again, bro, I'll get you on another time as well.
Yeah.
We'll try and sort it out for probably the following week when I come back.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, no, it's been a good chat, man. I've enjoyed it.
I've enjoyed it too, man. It's been a pleasure. It's good to chat football and chat nonsense and see what other people think of other people's transfers and stuff.
Yeah. You know, as I said, Saeed said, Verts is gonna flop. I think he's way off, but you know that's something we'll be keeping an eye on. But I think I'm pretty confident, like yourself, man, that Verts is going to be a hit, man, at Liverpool. Yeah. So we'll have to pot that one for what Saeed's saying. But guys, as I said, big up yourself for coming on. Smash that like button. Subscribe to my channel if you're new in there as well. And I'm going to catch you guys. Obviously, I'm off on holiday now, but we'll catch you guys out there. I'll be doing some streaming. So, appreciate everyone's support, man. And, we'll catch you guys in a bit.
Yeah.
Take it easy.
Take it easy.